Alright, so today earthlychow.com is going to make sauerkraut. Here are the things you need. Obviously you need some cabbage. You need a knife to cut the cabbage with. We need salt to get the fermentation started. We need an additional container where you're gonna, after we cut up the sauerkraut, you're gonna let it sit in there with salt just to draw the water out. And we need a container for the fermentation. So I'm using this self-made container where I essentially put an airlock on top. If you don't have it, you can use a mason jar, and essentially you can use just another bag, Ziploc bag, fill it up with water, and you can put it in here, maybe put it in another one in case it leaks, to keep this airtight. So what you want to do is keep it airtight. You may also need kind of a rock to keep the cabbage down, and I'll go into that in a little bit later. So for now, what we're going to do is we're going to save the top two leaves, and I'll show you later why. And we're going to cut this up, and I'm going to go ahead and do that and get back to you. All right, so now that we've cut up the cabbage, essentially we're going to add the salt. So it should be about half a tablespoon per pound. This is 3 pounds, so it should be 1.5 tablespoons. I'm only going to put in half a tablespoon, and that is because I'm going to use some liquid out of my last batch to get the fermentation started, so I'm not too worried about the spoiling. Then what I'm going to do here is I'm going to mix this up and let it sit for about 3 to 4 hours. And what's going to happen is it's going to draw out the water because of the salt, and it's going to make it much easier to get it into the glass. So we'll be back in about 3 or 4 hours. Okay, so now for the next step, the cabbage has been sitting there for a while in the salt, which will draw out the moisture. The next step is to pack it into the container, and the way you're going to do it is you're going to put in cabbage, you're going to pound it down, put in cabbage, pound it down, and keep going until you have it all. And when you're done, the cabbage will be kind of sitting in its own juices here. Once you've done that, if you have an airlock, there's 2 ways of doing it. You take the extra cabbage leaf that you saved at the beginning, put it on top of here to kind of seal it off, put in 2 rocks to keep it down, and put the airlock on top, and you should be good to go. If you don't have that, what you can do is you could, again, put the cabbage leaf down, take a larger Ziploc bag that you can fill with the water, put that Ziploc bag into another Ziploc bag, and put that all in here. So that's going to be both a weight and also an airlock, because the carbon dioxide will be able to, the CO2 will be able to kind of come along the edges to get out. And that's really all you need to do. And your sauerkraut should be ready in about 3 weeks. A little bit faster in the summer, a little bit slower in the winter. Enjoy. Alright, so this is what your fermentation is going to look like. Right, we've got a container, we've got the shredded cabbage here, we've got 2 leaves here to kind of keep everything down. We've got 2 weights, rocks in this case, to make sure everything stays underwater. The water is actually up to here, and that's really just water from the cabbage. There was no water added. And then, of course, we have some kind of an airlock, and as mentioned earlier, we can achieve the airlock in several ways. If you don't have one, you can just fill a Ziploc bag up with water, put it in another Ziploc bag, and put it in here, and it'll actually act as a weight, and also will keep the air out. So, and this is done. So I'm gonna open this one up and enjoy it.